Hello and welcome to Professor Herman Manyora's channel. My name is Jadil Cabero, here with Professor Herman Manyora on this Thursday. Professor, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Just fine.
Just fine.
Matatus are on strike, fuel prices hiked, and you're fine?
I am fine as a human being. I'm living, but as a Kenyan, I'm not happy. We are courting disaster. And this is because our leaders are out of touch with reality. They don't know what's going on. They can't put these things in context.
They don't know the prices of fuel.
They don't know. They can't put the whole thing in context. They live in this country, but they don't live. Chinua Achebe wrote in a small book, The Trouble with Nigeria. Shehu Shagari, then the president of Nigeria, he says African leaders like Shehu Shagari, they don't live in, he didn't live in Nigeria. He was in Nigeria, but you think these people are here? They don't even know the price of bread if you ask them.
Then we should blame ourselves for putting them there.
I'm telling you. And it's not just the president and his people. Even small people in this country, you give somebody a small job, you'll be surprised after a short while, he doesn't even. Let me use an example because I'm a teacher. A good teacher is made a principal of a small school. I'm telling you, 5 years, he can't even know where the staff room is.
Never been there.
He wouldn't know anything in that school.
Why?
And that's how, once somebody becomes a leader, they live in their own world. I'm telling you, if you ask these guys, can Raila the price of bread, they'll not tell you. They don't even know. So they're out of reach. And I'm saying, it's for that, I think that partly explains why Ruto is giving these guys a hard time. Because he understands. Let's be honest. Ruto knows the price of bread.
Okay, today's conversation is not about economy, but today we're speaking about the deputy choice for 2022. You saw Honorable Moses Kuria coming out and saying 40% of nominations to the government should come from the Mount Kenya region, and the deputy choice is not even a negotiation. We have the numbers, therefore we need to have the deputy come 2022. Can a president become president in next year's election without having the Mount Kenya deputy?
It will depend, but for now, no. Now it's difficult. You need them. Ruto needs Mount Kenya. Raila needs Mount Kenya, but not the votes of Mount Kenya. He needs to distort the Mount Kenya vote. So Mount Kenya is important to Raila, not because he needs their votes. He needs to spoil the votes for Ruto.
But the deputy choice should come even for Raila from Mount Kenya.
For Raila, it's complicated because if he's playing with Ruto, with Uhuru in this game, then Uhuru will want to have a say in who he picks as deputy. And that must also, for Uhuru's sake, come from Mount Kenya as part of the selling strategy.
So how about other regions that think they can get a deputy or being included?
Very difficult for them. The only way Ruto can go outside Mount Kenya is if Mount Kenya revolted against him before the elections, before the time for selecting running mates. Let's say Muturi became serious with the presidential bid. And then Ruto realized the entire mountain is going to Muturi. There will be no point of picking a deputy from there. For example, this is a very unlikely situation.
So when it comes to this situation...
Or if Raila got to a point he's fed up with Ruto, with Uhuru, he would not bother about Mount Kenya. He'll just play his game. Because the way Uhuru is playing it's like he's playing advantage Ruto. Maybe without knowing. Like this, you know, you are playing into Ruto's hands. People are getting so annoyed. Uhuru can't tell this country anything after this kind of thing. People are so annoyed, honestly.
And they can't even...
And this kind of things can bring a government down. You get what I'm saying? At the very worst. But normally, it's going to work for Ruto. So which means he's injuring Raila. For that reason, Raila can also get annoyed with him and say Uhuru is becoming more of a liability than an asset. For that reason, he can abandon Uhuru and then... Under such a circumstance, he will then pick a running mate from. But this will destroy the handshake dream. So it's unlikely to happen.
What about the prospects of the individuals that have decided to run for presidency? Whom do you think is going to be more suitable to become the deputy president of, let's say, Raila or Ruto, when it comes to the likes of Muturi or Jimna or
from among those who are running?
Yes, from among who are
those
running.
Those who are aiming for the sun, but they're aiming for the moon, but claiming the sun.
Yes, and they're still from Mount Kenya.
Muturi more likely for either of them. Justin Muturi could easily go to Ruto or to Raila. Among those, it's just Muturi and Wanjigi. Wanjigi, many people think Wanjigi is not serious. He's looking for governorship or he wants to be Raila's deputy. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure.
How about the thought that people have that if Raila needs a deputy president from the Mount Kenya region, it will enforce the fact that he doesn't need Kalonzo or Mudavadi to back him up come 2022. Is this what is being shown?
Yeah. He doesn't need Kalonzo and Mudavadi. They were supposed to force themselves inside that room. When I tell Mudavadi my lawyers think I'm wrong, they're even bashing me. I'm telling Mudavadi, force yourself inside. They don't want you there. Force yourself in. Push the door open.
Does this mean
kick that door and get in? And take a seat. If there's a small person taking a seat, kick him out of the seat. Take a seat and sit there.
So this means that Mudavadi and Kalonzo cannot right now negotiate for anything?
They have been falling in the trap, being hardened slowly. Finally, they will join Raila at zero option. And they will gain nothing.
So for now...
Not as deputy, not as anything. They will just join.
Well, how about the fact that most people have been claiming that when it comes to Raila, he doesn't necessarily, even you saying that he doesn't necessarily need the Mount Kenya vote.
Yes.
Does that mean even as he goes to other regions, people like Jojo can be able to give him advantage when it comes to winning the elections?
Yeah. You see, if Mudavadi and Kalonzo are not with Raila, other than the Kikuyu or Mount Kenya person who would have been given by Uhuru, the most high-profile person from ODM will be Joe. And that ups his game in terms of if he wants to be president in the future, being that close to Raila. And therefore, he'll go out of his way to ensure he gets the votes for Raila from the coastal region.
From the coastal region?
Yeah.
So you're saying if it's not someone from Mount Kenya, it should be most likely Joho? If
he parts away with
Uhuru,
yeah. If I would advise Raila to take Joe.
Take Joho.
Oh, it's a game
leaving
changer.
Alone the likes of
Oparanya. It's a
Oparanya.
game changer. It's a game changer. Joe would be a game changer.
What will he bring to the table?
The Muslim vote. And that's a serious block now in this country. People don't know it. I have said in the next 15 so years, there will be a Muslim president in this country. They have serious numbers. They have serious international network. They have serious resources. They bring so much on the table.
Does this mean that demographic will change from voting based on tribe and now voting based on religion?
You know, if it is a Muslim candidate, a serious Muslim, not leader, a serious Muslim candidate, a candidate backed, for example, by Raila, the Luo community behind him, other communities behind him, every Muslim will turn out to vote for him. And the kind of mobilization in terms of resources he will get from, say, the Arab world, it will be a campaign like no other. There will be dust. If Joe is your running mate and you are Raila, money will be nothing. You will talk about other things, not money. Forget, not money. So there will be serious resources pumped into that election.
In reality, does Raila need more of a deputy choice that can be able to bring the numbers, or the deputy choice that can be able to oil, or is it a combination of both?
Both are important. You can get the numbers, but without resources. Look at why did Raila not become president in 2013? You know, 2013, that thing was there for anybody. Any of them would have taken. What Uhuru was trying to prevent was a runoff. So the few games that were played were to ensure there was no runoff. And remember, only 8,000 votes stood between Raila and the runoff. And in a runoff, he was going to beat Uhuru hands down. So Uhuru just needed that top-up of 8,000 votes. Why? How did he get them? Raila didn't have agents across the country. If Raila had agents in the Mount Kenya region, he would be the president of this country. He would be doing his second term.
Does this mean that Kalonzo is a poor choice of a deputy president?
You know, you needed, because you know he had been pushed to a corner after having been deserted by his former colleagues. You get it?
Yeah.
In 2013, Mudavadi had gone on his own with UDF. The Mademon, Ruto had gone away with the Kalenjin vote. So Raila was in a very difficult situation. So when Ruto came with Wetangula, not Ruto, Uhuru, no, the other fellow from Mukambani, Kalonzo. With Wetangula. Man, it was like holding on to even a serpent as you...
Yeah?
You get it?
Yes.
So he needed them.
But
realistically, if he had gotten a better person who would bring resources, it would have been better.
Moving forward...
But Uhuru would have beaten them, hands down. Minus Kalonzo. Then Mudavadi had gone. Then Kalonzo. At that time, the dynamics of that time, and then it would have mattered where was Kalonzo going. You get it?
Yes.
At that time, nobody believed Uhuru and Ruto would get together, number one. Nobody believed these two were very serious, a very serious thing until we were deep into the campaign. Nobody thought, even me had a problem believing Uhuru will become president, with the ICC hanging on his head. For that reason, Kalonzo followers would have believed he was able to win.
But they didn't.
They would have wasted their votes on him. And that meant Raila was going to lose badly.
Moving forward, for the people that ask, it's time for us to see women taking the deputy chair so that we can be able to see an equality when it comes to the top leadership. Is there a woman in the country right now that you see is fit to be selected as a deputy president?
Before I answer that, I must disassociate myself with this idea of gender and women. This is a poor third world country. This country needs to move. This is a plane we need to fly across the Atlantic to land in America. We just need the best pilot. The luxuries of a woman, disabled, those things will come later. You cannot begin sharing what you don't have. But having said that, I know no society in the modern world can move if it leaves an important constituency like women and youth and others from management and governance. I'm aware of that. Now, to answer your question.
The woman.
We have very serious women in this country. We have Charity Ngilu. She can be a good president. We have Mother Karua. Nobody can be a better president in this country than Mother Karua. Nobody. Not a man, not a woman.
Would she make a good deputy, though?
No, that's the problem. She's so opinionated. To be somebody's deputy, you have to be a very perseverant man like Raila. Anybody else, they would fight. Yeah. It will be like now, worse than Ruto with Uhuru. Mother Karua, she will not stand nonsense. You are treating her like some second-class citizen because she's your deputy. She won't take it. So she cannot deal with somebody like Raila who can't get annoyed. Yes.
So as of now, when it comes to the deputy...
But people are already rumoring she could be, I don't know who's deputy, it's Ruto.
That was the Raila Karua.
Now it is, and I watched her. I watched her on TV being interviewed by I don't know who it was. And she was very cagey about repeating what she had repeated in 2018 about never voting for Ruto. She was almost getting annoyed when, I think it's Wahiga Mwaro, when he asked the second, third time, she was almost getting annoyed.
Would it be a good choice for Ruto to go with Mother Karua?
Yes and no.
Considering
yes,
where she's
because as a
from.
person, she's capable. I've already said she will be the best president this country would have. She will be the Raila of 2007. Not the Raila of now. Better than Raila of now. But it will antagonize the Rigathi Gachagwas and the rest of those people on the mountain. It will come as a liability to Ruto.
Because they have stood with him from the
beginning. He will pay dearly for that.
In your analysis, do you think Rigathi wants that seat?
I think people seem to think Rigathi is a man.
Even Moses Kuria said he will not vie.
Yeah, it is Rigathi is a man. Ruto has settled on. And for Raila, people are increasingly looking at Peter Munya.
Peter Munya, Agriculture CS. Yes. What do you think, him bringing the eastern votes?
It's just the eastern thing.
Are they going to take the whole central region towards Raila, even if it's not to make him president?
These are people who can be deputy to distort the Mount Kenya East vote. And then after the elections, Raila has won. The constitution is changed through a referendum. In the next election, he does not vie as president. He's made deputy prime minister or something like that, as Kena Gideon take over the big job. What
would you tell other regions that feel they deserve this seat? They deserve at least to feel included. What would you tell them as of now when it comes to politics?
They should mobilize. Wajaribu kutafuta Wakenya, wapembeleza Wakenya wengine. If for someone like Mudavadi, he's not even in control of Western, how can he then move? Consolidate your voice in the Western. When you move, people know it's you. You are the father figure of the region, of the Mlembe nation. Look for partners across the country. Have a very serious working relationship with other people like Kalonzo Musyoka. Move across the country. But it can't be for 2022 because it's already too late.
It's already too late. And that's, I call it a wrap at this conversation on politics. It's already too late. In case you are wondering who would likely become the deputy president for either country or either presidents, I hope now you know. Until we have these conversations, Professor, thank you so much for coming through, and I hope you have subscribed